Hello and welcome back to yet another yapping with me, Fellonius the Wizard. Let's talk about rules, and I mean written rules. Not laws, because they are also written, but there are some rules somewhere out in the perhaps on your company or something like that says you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to do So those are the rules that we need to talk about, among others. Now, rules are breakable, sort of, or you should abide by them. Yes, you should probably. They are there to protect you, perhaps. They are there to make you safe. There are some other stuff, but mostly the laws are also here to protect us above the rules. So if something goes wrong, well, you know where to go. But I'm going to start with talking about rules that we break, or at least in my case. As I have told you several times, you must be feeling sorry now, I am a bus driver. And the buses that we drive are having rules applied to them, strangely enough, and they are not from my company, but the customer that my company drives for, the traffic line company. They say that we have to do certain things. They say that we have to have lights on inside the bus between the darkness and the morning. That is, a certain rule they have applied is that you have to put your lights on inside the bus when the street lights are on. As long as the street lights are on, you have to have the lights on inside your bus. That sounds nice. Now, in some of the buses, at least the newest ones that we have, if I have the lights on inside my bus, 80% of my windscreen is lit by that light. I can't see anything outside of that. All I can see is the inside of the bus, which means more or less that I am driving not very safely. We have talked about this with our bosses, but they say no, rules are rules. You can't break them. Okay, but again, we do break them. First of all, there is something you need to know about street lights in Sweden. The longer they are on, the more it costs. That means that they are waiting as long as they can to put them on. They have their sensors set to almost darkness. That is, it's not enough to just have a dim light or something. No, it has to be almost dark. And that actually means that my guys in the bus, my passengers, are stumbling around, and we have a staircase, 2 steps as we have to go. They're stumbling on these ones if I don't have a light on. But according to the rules, I'm not allowed to have the light on because the street lights are not on. No, we don't bother with that. And again, the lights is not on totally. I have found that in the new buses that we are having, I put on the reading lamps. We have them on. Many of them are on all through the bus. That means that there's enough light to see where you're going and see the seats and see the stuff that is on the seat. But it's not that disturbing for me, the driver, because it is light, but then on the other hand, it's not that light. I can suddenly see the mooses and the deers and all the other strange animals that are running around on the streets. I don't understand them. So I'm doing that, but then I'm breaking the rules. However, there are 2 situations that I really need to have full light on, and that is when I'm approaching the last stop, the big city, because inside the big city I really don't bother with the lights in my windscreen. You will see it anyway. And second thing is if I'm having a bunch of youth in the back of the bus. They are doing their graffiti or cutting up the seats or whatever, and I need to at least see what they are doing. They are running around in the bus. They are not really sitting down with the seatbelts on. Yes, we have a rule that says, no, it's a law. It's actually a law. You have to sit down and have your seatbelts on in a bus. Except city buses, of course. City buses are fine. You can, whatever. But on the other hand, city buses are always inside the town and the street lights are always on. So the inside lights are always on. There we don't break the rule. However, is there anyone out there checking that I'm having the correct lights on? No, there isn't. In the old buses we have an option to make sure that the lights are only on in the rear to the back of the bus, and that doesn't disturb me. Well, perhaps 25% of the windscreen is actually lit, but it's not lit on top where I look. It's lit down in the lower part of the windscreen, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm breaking those rules, and I'm breaking them because I feel like it's a safety issue. That's the problem. And if anyone wants to argue with me and say that I'm doing wrong, they can just fire me because I don't like my job. I want to quit, but I don't want to quit myself. They have to fire me. Yes, that's how it is. So they can go around their business. I'm still doing my thing. Another part of the rule that we are experiencing, yes, I'm back at the COVID-19 and the coronavirus. Nowadays we have, no, it's not really a rule. In Sweden it's a recommendation. But I'm regarding it like a rule. You have to keep your hands washed. Try to avoid touch your face. Try to cough in your arm somehow. Make sure that you are not spreading the virus. Make sure that you are standing 2 feet apart. No, 6 feet apart. I'm no good at that feet thing. Let's say 2 meters and be gone. I'm trying to always make sure that that I'm not sneezing all the time and all that. And if I'm ill, I should keep at home. Now, these are just recommendations. But during this epidemic or pandemic as it is, I suddenly realized I should have done that with the flu. We have a big flu cases, and there are like 1,000 people dying in Sweden every year. I didn't know that. I had no idea. And to protect myself, what should I do? Yes, of course I'm going to do that. Wash my hands. Stay away from people. Standing socially distanced as usual. Make sure that I don't cough them right up in the face. And yeah, it's the same thing. So that's a good recommendation, even if we get the flu. Now, we have also something that I'm not totally sure if it's all over the world, but I guess it is, that we call the winter sickness. You vomit a lot, and often it's kids that has it, but even adults gets it. And if they do, they are home like 2 or 3 days. But while you are having it, you are so contagious, you are spreading it to everyone. Again, the thing you'd have to do is just keep on washing your hands, don't touch your face, keep distance, stay at home if you're that ill, probably before it cuts you. And that's a good recommendation. Now, to me, that has become a rule for me. This is a rule that I don't want to break. And it's suddenly, is it my rules? I don't think so. But I hope everyone else is actually doing the thing we need to do. So sometimes I break the rules because I feel like, yeah, that's me. I have to do that. In this case, I get a recommendation that I turn into rules for me. Now that is a strange thing because that has never happened before. And it might not happen again. You never know. It's a strange thing. Any thoughts on this? You put it in the comments below. Please do that. Thank you for listening, and goodbye for now.